Hey everyone, welcome to your Take a Peek at 2022 reading. We want to take a peek because do we really want all the surprises ruined? Because how fun would that be? I know, sometimes we wish maybe I would like to know everything that's going to happen, but I think we've tried that before and it was very boring, so we'll leave the exciting journey, going forward. And besides, we'll get messages and hints all along the way, so if you don't want to miss out on any of those videos that I put out throughout the weeks and the months of all next year, and you want to get notified immediately, if you haven't done so already, if you click the subscribe button down below, that'll just make a little notification bell pop up, and then you can select to be notified immediately, and that way you won't miss out on a thing, because 2022 is going to be an amazing year. The physical world is going to continue to disappoint us until we discover more and more of the powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit being we really are. And we'll find that when we're looking on the inside, right? And I just announced on New Year's Eve last night, this video is coming out on January 1st, but I did a little video announcing that I'm going to be having a weekly video for all of 22 called You times 2, and that are going to be basically messages about how we can do that, how we can discover that there are two of us inside of us, our human side, but then also, this character of the human, but we're more than that. We are this powerful supernatural being. And so all of those messages are going to be about just how we understand that, who we are, etc. So if you want to look into that, you can check out the video that I put out last night. I go into a little more detail, but stay tuned because it's coming and I'm super excited about it. But for this reading, let's go ahead and jump in and take a peek at your 2022. And you're going to have three choices. You have the star, the sparkler, or the fire rocket. And of course, you can choose as many of those as you want, whatever you're drawn to. I'll have timestamps in the description box below for all of them, but I'm going to jump into number 1 first. So if you want any of the others, just click on that timestamp and it'll jump you forward to that video. But I'm going to start with reading number 1, the blue star, right now. All right, all my Scorpios, if you chose reading number 1, which is the star, then this is the reading for you. And for your sneak peek, we're going to start off by looking at these Enchanted Map Oracle. Just see what the creator wants you to know overall for 2022 right now. All right, so for our Scorpio stars, what would you like them to know about this coming year, please? Okay, these two. Okay. And you, first of all, have a movement, card number 28. So yeah, your movement on the back of the ostrich and the balloon in the sky. I love that. 28 does add up to 2 + 8 is 10, which is endings and new beginnings. Yep, and then you have card number 50, which is the compass. This kind of reminds me of the Wheel of Fortune, which is the number 10 in the major arcana. So you definitely have some movement and some change coming, but you have direction, which is great, right? You're not left just to say move and you're like, where? I don't know, just go. You're actually going to get very clear direction. So the movement says you are in a time of positive forward motion. So that's great news. This is the time for positive momentum as you come out of a period of restriction. You're in a stage of new adventure and discovery. You may feel compelled to take a trip, change your hair, or move your home or business. Regardless, you can't remain where you are anymore. You feel compelled to go forward. No matter what your inquiry, you will see your dreams take form and doors previously shut begin to open as if by magic. Movement is also a state of mind. The fog lifts and you now know the actions you need to take. This isn't the time for fear. Let it go and move forward. And this is great. I really feel like, especially these last couple of years have felt very restricted with everything going on in the world, whether it's, the illnesses or civil unrest or political strife or individual strife or all the weird weather or whatever it may be. It just felt like there was so much that was keeping you small. But now this time coming into 2022, it's going to be huge for you. It's going to be this freeing feeling, and you won't be forced to move. That is the whole thing with the energy I'm picking up from this card. It's like you're sick and tired of being where you were, where, before your fears outweighed the feeling of feeling restricted and not expressing yourself the way you want to be expressed. But now your fears are outweighed by these feelings of you just can't stand it anymore. And so it almost, it feels like bravery and courage, but you're really just like, what? I'm just sick of it. I'm just ready to let it go. I don't fear it anymore. I'd rather take a risk and face whatever comes than stay stagnant where I'm at. So I really love that. And then you have the compass, which says, as long as you orient your compass to true north, capital T true, capital N north, the direction of your higher power, you will never be lost. And that is so perfect with, like I mentioned in the introduction, 2022 is so much about connecting to your higher power, your higher self, the higher realms. And that's where you're going to find that capital T true north, not the small t truth, true north of our ego, of the fear of the outside world. Because you're connecting to this higher realm, things become so clear, things flow. And like it said, where there were no answers that were coming for you, no ways that you thought you could move forward, they come to you now, and you're just like, wow, now I have like 5 ways to do it. Now I just need to decide which one I want. So it's going to be a very, like I said, moving 2022 for you. And this card also says you're entering uncharted territories right now and can expect wonderful new experiences. To stay on the highest path of your destiny, you'll need to keep your compass pointed to true north. Only spirit or a higher power can serve this function. Money, property, prestige, romance, and other material achievements can't help you find your true path. Those are the small t truths I was talking about. They are simply things you may experience along the journey, but it's not your, capital T true north. Know that spirit is working in your life, so even if you feel lost temporarily, it will be easy to find your way. Have faith and trust, for your compass with spirit as your true north will ensure that you'll never be lost, even on a starless night when all seems dark. Perfect. I love it. We're also going to get additional clarification through these True Heart Intuitive Tarot. To see what else the Creator wants you to know about this movement, this journey that you're going to embark on, the new phase of your journey anyway. You've always been on a journey since you went into your mother's womb. All right. What else do you want for our Scorpio stars, please? Okay. It's this one and that one. Okay, what else? Well, okay, that one for sure. That one there. And this one and this one. All right, so you have the Two of Discs. Perfect. So 2022, this is all about the two of you, like I said in the introduction. So this is all about you expressing yourself in the outside world. Your higher self and your small human self are seeing each other not for the first time, but at a new level. You're walking this journey together, taking the steps, step in step here, because it's so important. And I never noticed this before, and they're pointing it out to me now, is that when you're in step, this works out good. When you're out of step, then it would be out of balance and would fall. So this balance that is coming in to your physical world because, like we talked about, of this connection that you're having with your higher self. So it is not about being so heavenly minded you're no earthly good and all involved in your human side of fear that you're in fight or flight and reacting. It's this beautiful balance and this partnership that come together with your higher self that allow you to move along in this beautiful journey that is unfolding. Yep. And then you have the Three of Discs, which happens after this. The Three of Discs, Three of Pentacles, discs are also called pentacles in other suits. This is all about being your authentic self. And this is so perfect with what we were talking about before, because the story that Spirit gave me with this card is, you have someone creating something and giving something to the world, and then you have two different people on the card. One side of this individual, like this person, is the naysayer, the dream buster, the one that's going, why are you doing that? You can't do that. You need to do something that's more secure, that's really going to bring you money. That's not going to satisfy you. You're not going to be able to succeed at that, blah, 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 right? And we're aware of those. That is very much, very evident in our lives. And we have learned to take them with a grain of salt and put them over here. We still listen to their concerns, but if they're just of fear and they're not of spirit, then we know it'll be a heavy feeling instead of a light feeling. Sometimes people, that they'll tell us stuff and say, well, have you thought, what you're going to do with that when that gets to that point? And you're like, I haven't, but thanks for pointing that out. I'll add that to my list. It's not a heavy fear-based thing, it's an awareness thing, and it's like, okay, and you feel the difference between it. Well, this other person is the person that's supporting, and they can sometimes even have more impact on pulling us off our authentic path, because our ego really likes praise. It fears punishment and rejection, and so it really hungers for this support. And so this person is supporting, so what a great job you're doing. I'm really excited that you're taking these steps and moving forward. Oh my God, it's going to be exciting for you. And you're going to do that and that and that. Have you ever thought of doing it this way though? And because our fear ego fears that this person's going to move from the support camp to the naysayer camp, we might alter it. And again, it's not like the difference, like I mentioned before, if someone is saying something going, hey, have you thought of that? And you're like, oh my gosh, I was looking for a way to do that. And thank you for bringing that to my attention. It's light. It's about your passions. It's about expressing your authentic self. And it just adds to that. Whereas the other, if you fear, well, I better do it their way because I don't want to lose their support, that's heavy. And that takes you off of your authentic path. So this Three of Discs is all about not looking to the outside world for your approval, for that praise, for that validation. It's all about living and being your authentic self, and that's that movement and this true north. Once you have found this passion that you really want to express, how you uniquely want to express your unconditional love with the world, that is your true north. And that this is all about stay true to your true north and don't get pulled in a direction because of the fear of being rejected or the fear of losing the praise. And then you have the Two of Cups. So definitely 2 and 2. This is your human self and your higher self coming together. The cups are the emotions, where the discs or pentacles is the outside world, and that you're bringing that energy into the outside world. This is about your emotional insides. So definitely filling up with the cup from above, because your higher self is a being of unconditional love. And so the cup that it holds is the chalice. It holds the living waters, the very essence of the unconditional love of the creator of what we are made of. And it pours it down into this other cup to where you are feeling this emotional fulfillment, this emotional passion, like I talked about, once you connect to your higher realms and you understand how you want to fill up and overflow out to the world rather than having this cup that's always empty because you're always giving of your essence away. That's what the fear ego does. It's like sacrificing itself. It's giving itself away all the time without being whole and complete. But when we connect to this unconditional love instead of the conditional love of the outside world, we fill up and everyone else gets the overflow. And so this 2 and 2 together for 2022 is all about connecting to your higher self, like this card mentioned too. Yep, 8 of Swords. So these are all those small t truths that this card also mentioned. Swords are your thoughts, your beliefs, your mindsets, your attitudes, your expectations. And you can see here that it's our own beliefs that are keeping us blinded, keeping us bound, and keeping us restricted and from being able to fly. So this is what you're going to be looking at too. As you connect to your capital T truths, you're able to cut away these small t truths that no longer serve you. All those supposed to be's, all those should be's, all those need to be's, have to be's, must be's. Those are all those fear-based opinions of the outside world that have been keeping you small and restricted like we talked about before. But this is what you're going to be looking at this next year, that you're going to slowly be questioning these and be moving these away out of your life, which allows you to become unblinded, unbound, and free. Like this little balloon, hot air balloon that was on here. It's like, this is like the hot air balloon, and these are all the sandbags and all those ropes that are keeping you tied to the ground, and you're just slicing them one by one, and you get higher and higher and higher and higher because you're letting the weight, the heavy things we talked about, go. Yeah, 8 of Cups. So again, 8 of Cups is the emotions that you're ready to leave behind because you're ready for this higher path. You're ready to move onto bigger and better things in your life. So definitely these 8s are all about this awareness and this change and this wisdom that comes from realizing those beliefs that no longer serve you. These are the emotions that no longer serve you. And so you're making this movement along your path because of that. Yeah. And then the number 8, Strength card. And this just kind of sums up everything that we've been talking about, because this card is like probably the poster child card for 2022, because it represents, here's your human side. The lion is your human fight or flight mode, shadow experiences, and then this beautiful person here is your higher self, your eternal self, the powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit being made of unconditional love. The story that Spirit gave me around the card is that the lion is our little brave, courageous piece of us that was willing to be veiled from the powerfulness that we are. So for a time, it's like the lion isn't even aware that you're more than the human experience. And it comes down and it's taught, look out here for that which will fulfill you, because the lion comes down hungry and thirsty. And it's told, go eat of these relationships, whether it's romantic or family or friends or business, work, with your fur babies, your feather babies, whatever relationship it may be. And so it goes, okay, and we're told to do that, and we go out and eat. And like American Chinese food, if it filled you at all, you're hungry an hour later. So then it's told, go drink of job, of circumstances, of education, whatever circumstances might be in our lives, because that's thirsty. So we go and we drink of that, and we're even more thirsty than we were when we started. And then we're told, well, go, look at these things of the outside world. Those things are going to fill up your belly and take away your thirst. You're like, okay, let's go try that. And so we, it's of our bodies, it's of our possessions, it's of our bank accounts. And we eat and drink of that, and we're even, again, more thirsty, more hungry. And so little lion becomes so desperate, it becomes hangry, it's hungry, angry, and it's roaring in the jungle. Well, like I said, the lion isn't aware of our higher self because there's a veil, But our higher self is always aware of what's going on with our human side of ourself. So it hears us roaring and it comes down, and it doesn't like kill the lion and put it out of its misery. It doesn't cage it to keep other people safe from it. And it doesn't try to control it or manipulate it with like a whip and a chair like they do in the circuses, right? Because our higher self knows that our little lion, what it's truly hungry and thirsty for, is the unconditional love of back home. And because our powerful higher self is made of unconditional love, it can give the lion what it's really thirsting for. So it comes down and hugs our lion, gives it the unconditional love that it's looking for, and it transforms from this roaring lion in the jungle to this purring little lion cub sitting in the lap of our higher self, feeling totally full, not thirsty at all, and feeling loved for the first time in our lives, truly loved with that unconditional love. And then our higher self doesn't go, all right, bye, psh, and disappear like Superman does after he, rescues someone. It's like now it's going to be this relationship. Our lion is aware now that veil has been broken, and our lower self is aware of our higher self. It's like all these twos and this compass, the whole 2022 introduction that I talked about. This is what it's all about, and connecting to that. And then you walk with your awareness of your higher self as you go throughout life. And yeah, in the beginning, the lion might see a rabbit and take off running into the jungle and, oh my gosh, I'm alone, and go, oh, wait a minute, no, I'm not. And they turn around and your higher self is right there going, no, I never left you. I'm always with you. You're just becoming more and more aware that I'm around you and of who I really am. And so you start developing this relationship, walking along. I just had this flash of like Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz. She meets the lion, and then they just, on their journey throughout life along the yellow brick road, they develop this relationship. And that's what it's going to look like going forward for you. And then lastly, I'm going to pull a card here from the Art of Manifestation Oracle, at least one. We'll see if any others pop out. Just see what the final message the Creator has for all you Scorpio stars for 2022. It's a little sneak peek. All right, what else? What else do you want, Tar? Okay, we went to that one and that one. And you've got giving and receiving. Yep, perfect. And that says, give and take is different to giving and receiving. Taking and receiving are not the same. When we take, whoever we take from may or may not have chosen to give. However, when we receive, choice and respect are an integral part of the exchange. So let go of any need to take and embrace the harmony of giving and receiving. And that is really like this Two of Cups. That allowing people to take from you or taking from others for your emotional fulfillment. You don't need that anymore. You are connecting to the main source of unconditional love. So you get to receive, fill up, and then overflow. And that's freely receiving and freely giving, no expectations. And it tastes so much different than, like I talked about, when people are just sucking the life out of you. That's bitter and sour waters because it's full of expectations and sometimes resentment. But when you are filling up with unconditional love and it's overflowing, you don't care. You're whole and complete. Everything else is flowing out. And that is beautiful, sweet, sweet tasting living waters. And then you have Restore Balance, 46. So another 10, 4 and 6 is 10. So this is definitely about this ending and new beginning that's coming in. This card calls you to notice what kinds of situations, people, and circumstances throw you off balance. And that's what we were talking about here with this literally balancing on this wire here. And more importantly, what enables you to regain balance and recenter yourself. Noticing heightens your awareness and creates an opportunity for you to become proactive in maintaining your ongoing balance and inner harmony. So exactly what we're talking about there. So the Two of Discs or Pentacles and the Two of Cups, just reiterated and summarized. But I think this is going to be an exciting journey for you. It's going to be so much more freeing and feeling than like what you're going through right now. But just to know, again, like I mentioned, this is just a little sneak peek into your 2022, looking through the keyhole. There's going to be so much more coming for you. And if you want to be kept in the loop on any new information and new messages as they come out, as I mentioned in the beginning of this video, if you want to get notified when new videos come out, because I do like monthly readings by each zodiac sign, weekly readings by each of the elements, like fire signs, water signs, new moon, full moon readings, and some others. So if you click on the subscribe button down below and then click on that notification bell, you can select to be notified immediately when those new videos become available. Also, if you're enjoying these videos and you want to help share the love, if you give this video a little thumbs up and click that like button, that just helps the YouTube algorithm share these videos as like a recommended video or suggested video with others. So never any pressure to do so, but if you feel so inclined, I greatly appreciate it. All right, my beautiful Scorpios, just know as you are going throughout every moment of every day of your life, you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things. And of course, I love you too. Have an amazing 2022, but I'm sure I'll be talking to you very soon. But until then, you take care. All right, on my Scorpios, if you chose reading number 2, which is the Sparkler, then this is the reading for you. And we're going to start off your little sneak peek by pulling a card here, or 2 or 3, from the Enchanted Map Oracle, and just see what the Creator wants you to know overall for 22 right now. All right, so for our little Scorpio Sparklers, what would you like them to know about their 2022? Okay. They do want to those 2. Oh, okay. Yep, they did want 3. And you have the Mountain, card number 6. And don't worry, that looks scary, but it's not. And then you have Protecting Treasure, number 39. And then you also have Into the Unknown, card number 7. So we'll put those like that. And then let's see what each of these brings here for you and see how they relate. So the Mountain is you have the capacity to flow around any obstacle. This is the time to adapt. Sometimes you'll come across what appears to be an insurmountable obstacle, like a huge mountain, that separates you from your success. You might think that climbing it or chiseling away at it is the answer, but why take such a treacherous, tedious approach? Be like the rivers that flow around mountains naturally. You'll move past this obstacle relatively quickly if you choose the easy way around. This is the time to adapt to your circumstances. If you decide to climb, remember to take one step at a time, opting for the next right action. So I think that's awesome. It's like, go with the flow. The path of least resistance is what I'm hearing. And I know sometimes it's like, well, that's the easy way. Why would you want the easy way? And you're like, yeah, why wouldn't you want the easy way? So this next year is about any obstacles that come up. Don't make them more complex or harder than they need to be. And then you go into protecting your treasure, because this is like you can move quickly around an obstacle, and then you do have treasure, obviously, because you have something to protect. And this says you are always protected and divinely directed. Although this is a time of great risk, know that at a fundamental level, you're able to move forward safely and securely. So again, this joint combined message about moving forward, and then you know that you can move forward safely and securely. The proverbial nest egg is safe and sound no matter the fluctuations in the world. Guardian angels and other guides are whispering to you, making you aware of their protective presence. Your loyalty is an important theme for next year. Nurture that which you hold dear. This is a good time to strengthen bonds of friendship and ensure their integrity. If you feel tested right now, know that a true and loyal heart always achieves its aim. Take refuge under an angel's wing. You're not alone and have no need to fear. Embrace your courage. Perfect. And then number 7, which of course is right after the mountain, is trust, and all will be revealed, because that's the into the unknown. Life is an adventure, and often new opportunities will rise that you won't know how to deal with. And this is one of those times you're required to trust that this new phase will reveal wonders and miracles as you step into unknown territory. Imagine that you are not only a pathfinder, but a path maker. So whatever your inquiry, trust that you'll be safe. Stay aware as you discover new and marvelous territories and valuable treasures. So yeah, these definitely are all interacting with each other, letting you know that, yeah, you're going to go into unknown territory, but, it's like when those explorers first came to America and they were, going along the rivers and exploring and seeing new amazing things. You're a path maker. You're protected and directed, and any obstacles that come, you can easily move around them, but be like water. Go with the flow, be fluid. Don't be so stubborn with it all, right? We're also going to pull cards here from the True Heart Intuitive Tarot. Just see what else the Creator wants you to know about 2022. All right, what else do you want your beautiful Scorpio sparklers to know about their 2022? Okay, that one. Okay, that one. Okay, to that one, this one. Okay, you get 2 here. 1 here. 1 here. 1 here. 1. 2 there again. Okay, this is interesting. We will go with it. We always do. Okay, so over here you've got Justice. So what's beautiful about this is that she stands on this Ace of Swords, which does 2 things for you. The first is that it allows you to see the higher truths, the capital T truths. And this balancing that happens here is one side of this is your lower self, your human self, that's fight or flight and opinion and the shadow side. And the other is your higher self, everything I talked about in the intro about there being 2 of you here. And this is the balancing out of the capital T truths from the small t truths, because the other thing that the Ace of Swords does is it allows you to cut away those small t truths that no longer serve you. So as you connect and are aware of the capital T truths, that allows you to question and look at, okay, all those should be's and supposed to be's and needs to be's and have to be's. You're questioning those because this higher truths, this unknown territory that you're going into, this beautiful journey of 2022 reveals so many higher things that don't need defending, don't need protecting, like the small t truths of our ego does. So there's this beautiful balancing that's coming in with that. Yeah. And then you have the Ace of Wands. So Wands is your drive, your ambition, your aha inspiration, and your spiritual energy. And you can see the phoenix rising from the flames there. So there's this beautiful energy that comes in as you let go of investing so much energy in those small t truths from before. That leaving the fears behind allows you to go into this unknown territory, which this is like this new inspiration, this new passion that enters your life because you are not fearing, you're not allowing these blocks to stand in your way. You're like, you know what? I'm just going to move beyond those, and we're on this adventure. So step aside. No fear in this adventure, right? And then they want me to go to this one next. Yep, 8 of Cups. Here's the path. Here's the journey. Cups are your emotions, and this is all about leaving behind those emotions that no longer serve you. They did serve you for a time. You know, those small T truths allow us to feel what an obstacle might feel like, to fear losing our worth and those things that we consider treasures, and the fear of the unknown, and that was keeping us in place, keeping us from moving forward. But you're so ready to move into this new adventure, this new path, literally up into the stars, because it's like this block that you were standing in front of. You're like, I've been here long enough. I'm tired of waiting. I'm tired of fearing, and I'm ready to move on, and I don't care, because this ugly feeling of being stagnant is being outweighed by this beautiful adventure feeling that's coming in, this new passion that's coming in. Yeah. Then you have the Six of Cups. So the Six of Cups, you can call it like the nostalgia card, but it's about looking back. You can see here like two young children looking back at your older memories, but you don't like go out, swim out into the emotional waters and re-experience everything all over again. You board this little ship here that has all these butterflies that are on it, and that's transformational. And what this card has been representing lately, the message that's been coming as I've been doing these readings, is that because you're not in this fear mode anymore, you're in this passionate, balanced place, you're able to go back and look at your old experiences, the stories that you apply to the old emotions that you had. And because you're not in fear anymore, you're able to look at it like from the ship. You're not in the waters, not in fight or flight mode, not creating this story of fear around your past emotions, but you're able to just kind of glide and sail in this beautiful, smooth journey across your emotions. And because you're not in fear, you go back and look at a situation and go, okay, how was I in fear in that situation? And then how was that other person in fear in that situation? So when they said what they said and did what they did, it was not of unconditional love. So it was of a reactionary, conditional love on fear. And that can look like control, it can look like abuse, it could look like so many things. Because when a human is in fight or flight mode, literally, that got really blurry really fast. So yeah, there you go. And so that's the clarity that comes. So that blurred, that's pretty funny. So that blurred vision that we had before becomes more clear, because when we're in fight or flight, it really does become foggy. Our blood leaves our brain to help us prepare to run like heck or to fight like heck to save our lives. We do not make emotionally mature decisions when we are in fear. And so when we realize that other person, we can ask, how was that person in fear that said those things or did those things? And then we realize, oh wow, so that situation had nothing to do with me. That was all about their fears, and they were freaking out. So it's like when you swim out to save someone who's drowning, right? Like in these waters, someone's drowning. And so you swim out, and while you're swimming up, they're panicking and they smack you upside your head and like, oh, I can't believe they hit me. Why did they hit me? And then they grab onto you because they're panicking and pull you under the water, and you're like, oh my God, why are they trying to murder me? You know, the stories that our fears create around that situation is all out of fear. It's not out of unconditional love. And then once we get them back to shore and we're sitting there and we're calming down and they're calming down, we realize, oh, when they smacked me, it wasn't about me. They didn't even know it was me that was coming out to rescue them. They were just freaking out. And when they pulled me under the water, they weren't trying to murder me. They were just panicking, trying to save themselves, and they didn't know any other way. It wasn't personal. And so our whole awareness around the situation changes. The story we apply to that situation changes. Also, we change how we feel about ourselves through it all as well. So I love that. And then they want these two cards together. So you've got the Three of Cups and the Four of Wands. And out of all the cards, these are like the two celebration ones. This is literally celebrating with Three of Cups, cheering. This is an event, a beautiful, like a wedding or a celebration or a party. And so this represents this transformation of the emotions that you have been feeling. It becomes this thing of joy, this passion within you, this whole journey that you're on. As you remove how you look at a situation, you start being grateful for so many things. You look at all these experiences you had, and you're like, you know what, it's made me who I am today, and I love who I am today. So I'm going to celebrate. I'm going to have this attitude of gratitude, and it moves you out of this the victim roles that you might have had yourself in here, moves you to a different place there. And then you have the Five of Wands and the Ten of Cups. So this, of course, is all about cups are your emotions. This is about emotional fulfillment. I mean, literally, you have all these cups that are filled and amazing. So this, I really feel, is like this conglomeration of all these emotions and all these feelings that as you go throughout 22, because you've all this that you're letting go of, you just feel abundance, you feel this joy, you feel this amazing new levels of unconditional love from above, as you connect to your higher self, of course, in 2022. And the Five of Wands is your drive, your ambition, your aha inspiration, like we talked about with the Ace of Wands. And you see this is kind of like Medusa, and you have all these wands and all this fire in her hair here. And this is about this transformation that happens, and we're going to put this one up here and this one like this. Usually you'll see the Five of Wands, they're like five people fighting with the staves, and which are the wands, they're like the long sticks, right? And there's this transformation that happens in the story that we see, which is what this is all about here. Because in the beginning, it's like a kung fu movie starts to play in my head, and there's these five people, and they're all fighting one another, and they're all beating one another, and you think, oh my gosh, what's going on here? They're at war, they're battling, they're trying to kill each other. And it gets down to one person standing, the other four laying on the ground, and they're just exhausted. And then they all start just busting out laughing. They help each other up. They put the staves to the side. They all walk, arm in arm, and, arms around the shoulders, and they're buddy-buddy. And you realize, oh, these are Buddhist monks, and they're heading off to the mess hall to eat. And they were not bad at each other. They were helping each other develop their skills, improve their skills of life and of the wands that they're using. And so this story transforms from what we thought something meant to what it really was, and we get this clarity that comes, like when the camera was out of focus, then all of a sudden it goes shh, and it's so clear and so concise that you get to see things in such a clear way that really you get to see yourself in a whole different picture. You do see the world and everything differently, but because we don't see the world as we are, we don't see the world as it is, we do see the world as we are. So in this hair, all the snakes, all these wands, and all this energy that we've been holding, that energy transforms into something completely different. And I love that. And then lastly, we're going to pull at least one card from this Art of Manifestation Oracle and just see what final messages that the Creator has for you. I do apologize, it got a little dark. There's a storm evidently coming in. So it got dark, but I think you saw the cards clear enough there. All right, and that one too. Okay. Oh, we got three. I thought there was only one there. Cool. Be your brilliant self. Let's see, does that? Here we go. Focusing in there. Card number 3, which is the Empress card, which is all about creativity and new creations. It says, be great today. Be brilliant. This card asks you to get in touch with the extraordinariness of everyday living. Go about your daily life doing everything to the very best of your ability. Be extraordinary in an ordinary way. Your brilliance will radiate into the world, creating more change than you could possibly imagine. Yeah, this is like this emotions that you are literally just gratitude, celebration, this bright light that you are to the world because you are having this passion. You're leaving this stuff behind. You're moving into this beautiful new adventure, this new journey. But I love that, you're going to go into the unknown, but look, this is what the result is, so it's totally worth it. Don't fear it. Then you have dislike of others, which is 21, which also 1 + 2 is 3, so more creativity. And it says sometimes we form strongly negative feelings toward others, right? In truth, it's not them that we dislike, but their words, their actions, and behavior. This card asks you to try to detach from the experience of their behavior and see them as a soul on their own unique pathway, attempting to manage their own challenging life lessons. So exactly what we were talking about with all these revisiting these old memories and seeing it from a different perspective, that they were just on their journey like we are. Everyone has a passion to live their life. They want to be loved. They don't want to be rejected. They fear being rejected. And so each moment is either of unconditional love or the fear of losing conditional love. So, this transformation we're talking about is amazing. I love it. And then you have lack, card number 29. I love the little dandelion wish there. Leading a spiritual life does not mean living in lack. This card asks you to release any underlying beliefs that you may hold regarding entitlement and worthiness that may be blocking your ability to receive. When you have an abundance of wealth, both inner and outer, you will have an abundance to give and share with others. So I love this obstacle, these treasures as well. So this year is going to be about this, looking at your worthiness, these beliefs you have around lack. In 29, you add 2 and 9 is 11, 1 + 1 is 2. So this is that 2022, looking to your higher self, realizing how powerful you really are. You're so much more than the little small human character that you're playing on this planet. You are a powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit being made of unconditional love. So this is beautiful. I love it. And this is just a little peek through the keyhole of 2022. It's by no means all inclusive of what you're going to be going through in 2022. But I would really grasp onto this. This is like, yes, this is what is going to happen throughout 2022. I don't even think it's like an end result. I think it's like Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, you have all this amazing stuff that just keeps building and building and building on top of one another. And if you want to stay in the loop on other messages as they come out, as I mentioned in the intro, if you click the subscribe button down below and then the little notification bell, then you can select to be notified of any new videos as they come out, because I do like monthly readings by each zodiac sign. I do weekly readings for each of the elements with the energies, like fire signs, water signs, etc. I do new moon, full moon readings, and a variety of others too. So if you don't want to miss out on those, just click that subscribe button and that little notification bell. And if you are enjoying these and you want to help spread the word and spread the love, if you give this video a little thumbs up and click the like button, that just helps the YouTube algorithm share this as a suggested video for others as well. And never any other pressure, no expectations for you to do it. But if you do want to do that, I greatly appreciate it. All right, my Scorpio sparklers, just know as you're going throughout each and every second of every day, you are unconditionally loved by the creator of all things. And of course, I love you too. Have an amazing 2022, but I'm sure I'll be talking to you very soon. And until then, you take care. All right, all my Scorpios, if you chose reading number 3, which is the Fire Rocket, then this is the reading for you. And we're going to start off by pulling a card here from the Enchanted Map Oracle for your sneak peek into 2022, just to see what the creator wants you to know right now about the upcoming year. So for our little Scorpio fire rockets, what would you like them to know? Okay. No, not those. Any others? Okay. I guess there is 3. Okay. Excellent, excellent. And you've got the Talisman, card number 49. Also, the Heal the Ouch, card 38. Always love that. Little raccoon and foxes, 2 of my favorite little animals. And then you also have the Dragon's Lair, number 19. So we'll put that here. And let's take a look and see what energies these bring and how they all relate. All right, so 49 is the Talisman. So a lesson truly learned is crystallized as earned wisdom. You have all you need for the success you seek. Wisdom allows you to recognize traps on the road and familiar patterns that you want to avoid. It also enables you to quickly gather information about where you are on your journey. It helps you recognize your allies and know how to find the best routes along the way. Now you're at a place where you know the right things to do and the best choices to make. You really can't commit a mistake. Whatever your inquiry, great fortune awaits you. Woohoo! For you have the wisdom to arrive at the right decision. You've learned your lessons and earned the right to your success. So yeah, that talisman is this, like it says, it's the culmination of the wisdom that you've had on your path. And this forward path going forward, it's a bright light. It kind of reminds me of the hermit, that the hermit has like usually a staff with a little bright star on the end of it, or a lantern. And that talisman is the light that helps guide your way, because you have found this beautiful wisdom. And like it says, it's earned wisdom. You've been through it, and like us all, we learn the hard way, but you have really come to this beautiful place where you're like, I don't fear it anymore, because you realize that I have survived every challenge I've had up to this point, because I'm still here, right? And so congratulations, you have survived, and not even survived, but thrived, and gleaned so much wisdom for where you're coming from. Because then you have the Heal the Ouch, which is forgiveness is the healer of the soul. This is a time this next year for great soothing of the heart, the body, the soul, and the mind, as this card indicates that healing will be prevalent in your life. If you feel drawn to study the healing arts, you'll be successful in developing your natural capacity to restore others to wellness. However, the message may be that you're being called to change your behaviors in order to heal the earth. Perhaps you'll switch to a cruelty-free diet, eating less meat, or perhaps you'll pay more attention to how much water or electricity you use. You've asked to be conscious of your footprint on the sacred earth and all of life, and to commit to the healing path. The Heal the Ouch card may also be an indicator of old wounds and broken bonds being mended. Reconciliations are possible now. Let bygones be bygones. So it's a general reading, so some of that will resonate, but I really feel like for a majority of you, this Healing the Ouch is this wisdom that you have gleaned. You've realized all the lessons that you learned in holding grudges and holding resentments and having all that poison inside of you, that toxicity inside of you. And this journey that you've been on, this wisdom, this talisman that you've earned, is because you've gone through this. You've healed so many of your ouches. I really feel like that is such the wisdom that you're carrying. And that's why you're not fearing what comes, because you have moved beyond all the pain and all the suffering that you had chosen in your life. But this is like the bright light that you're going to help others on their path too. Because then you move into the Dragon's Lair here. And the Dragon's Lair is you are always protected and divinely directed, right? Direction. You have a remarkable internal warning system that lets you know when things are out of alignment, right? That talisman, it kind of goes to, and you can understand when things are I wouldn't say going awry, but like you're drifting into the fear, into the darkness, into the world of the ouches again, because, this is really this beautiful awareness that comes from all that. And it does say in here, like, you're about to enter dangerous territory, so tread carefully and be aware of your surroundings. But I really feel this is where you've come through. This is what you've been through. You've been like on all these questions. You got burned by dragons, that sometimes you were the dragon and you burned others. And just this journey that you've had between these two, because 9 and 1 is 10, which is endings and new beginnings. 8 and 3 is 11, which would be right after the 10. But 1 plus 1 is 2 as well, which is all about 2022 and connecting to your higher self. So I really feel like this is the path that you've been on, where you've gleaned so much wisdom because, as they say, you've been through it. It says the path you're on now is one that will challenge you to your core. That said, peril is also exciting and exhilarating, like the danger you feel before you enter a new relationship, knowing that you'll be changed forever. A life lived fully isn't lived only in safety. A new experience is calling you, one that will test your courage. The choice is yours, but there is greater value in risk-taking than remaining unchallenged. New territories are waiting to be discovered. So yeah, again, I really feel like because of everything you've gone through, you feel fully supported. You have all this knowledge and wisdom that you've gleaned, and you're ready to start this in a new way. And the way that they're telling me, so how sometimes you will, years after you've been through something, you look back and go, oh, I get it. I see what I learned from it. I see why I reacted and what triggers I had, blah, blah, blah. And then you move along in your journey, and then it's like, instead of 3 years later, it's a year later, you go, oh yeah. And then instead of a year, as you move along in your journey, it's months later. And then you move into like it's right after it. And then you move into like it's while you're going through it, and you still choose the old ways, but you're realizing it as you're going through it. And then you're reaching this point where before you go down that path, you are aware of it. And still, sometimes you might choose to experience and go, oh, yep, I went into the old trigger, the old way. But you move so quickly back out of it, and the awareness comes so quickly. And then as you go along that path, you have like this, you make new choices as those feelings rise. You take a different route, like you take a off ramp. You're like, nope, I've been down that road before. I'm going to take a right instead, or I'm going to take a left instead, or I'm going to go down into the subway, or I'm going to, take the skywalk, whatever it might be. It's like you're learning and applying it in a different way. So all this was all that past, a lot of reflection as after you had gone through it or as you were going through it. But this is so much about before you're going through things, you're seeing it now because of all this wisdom that you gleaned in going through it all. So I love that. We're also going to pull some cards here from the True Heart Intuitive Tarot, and to see what else the Creator wants you to know about your 2022. All right, what else? What else do you want our Scorpio fire rockets to know? Okay, this one here. What else? Okay, that one there. That one there. Okay, then they went boom, 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 and that one up the top. All right. So first here you have 10 of Cups. Yeah, you are so ready for this new horizon. 10 of Cups. Cups are your emotions, and you can see this brightness. You're feeling whole and complete and just like totally fulfilled emotionally. So that is this brightness, this new adventure that you're going on. You just feel like you're not lacking anything in your emotional department. You just feel this wholeness and completeness in 2022. Like you're just like, yeah, let's go. I'm ready. I know what my worth is. I know where my source of emotional fulfillment lies, and it lies within myself. That's what you learn during this time here, is that no. And again, 10, endings and new beginnings. So you're ready for this new beginning, this new emotional experiences as well. Yeah. Got the 3 of Wands. Wands is your drive, your ambition, your spark, your aha, inspiration, your passions. 2 of Wands, before this one, is about having made plans, A to B to C to D to da, blah, 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 and all that. But this is about like making adjustments, making alterations to your previous plan, where you might have had, like, you're in the middle of a continent and your plan A to B was to get from there to the sea, and literally you're at the sea here. And then once you got to the sea, you were going to go catch this boat to go to this place, but now with this new awareness that you're coming into your path with, you're like, you know what, I've made it here, but I don't want to go that direction anymore. I'm going to take the boat and go this way instead. So there is this altering of your course, of your pre-planned, journey that you had before, and you're ready to make a switch, and you're not afraid of it. You're like, nope, that's no longer where I want to go. I'm going to do this, and you're doing it. And you have the Princess of Cups. Again, cups are your emotions. Princesses are also pages in others. So there's 2 things that come with this. One is it's all about new level of emotion, which we already knew with this 10 of Cups. This is what comes right after that card there in the deck. So you are going on to this next level. She holds in her hand the chalice here, the Holy Grail. And what's in that is what is bringing you all of this stuff, which is the essence of our Creator, the living waters. It is the unconditional love of the Creator of all things, of which we are made out of, right? And I mentioned in the intro, you are getting to know this higher self of yours, right? This would be both you and your spirit self, your human self and your spirit self joining together and feeling that wholeness and that completeness that is overflowing out of you. And because you realize you have everything you need inside yourself, that's why you're not afraid to move forward, because based on this experiences that you had, that you are the one that gets to determine what anything means to you. You get to apply whatever story you want to the circumstances that come into the moment, and you get to choose what emotions you want to feel as you go through it as well. Yeah, because here you go. This is the old ways. The swords are your thoughts, your beliefs, your mindset, your attitudes, your expectations. This are all the small t truths of your ego, the shoulds, the supposed tos, the have tos, the need tos, all those things that you've been trying to make happen. This is where the suffering comes from, because you're trying to control all these things outside of yourself. But what's great is this is the 9. The next one that comes is the 10. And usually the 10 of swords, you'll see someone like face down in the sand, looking away from us, but they've got all the 10 swords stabbed him in the back, because those small t truths of our human ego, all those supposed tos and shoulds, they don't fulfill us, and they end up betraying us, literally stabbing us in the back. But it's wonderful, because this is like you're virtually exhausted. It's the nightmare card, the insomnia card, and you're like so ready for this 10 to happen. That's ending a new beginning. And what's beautiful in that 10 of Swords card is that they're looking away from us, but the sun is rising, which is the new beginning that's coming, which is the sun that's rising here. You're like, yes, I'm so ready to let all this stuff go that's been making me just so stressed and so full of fear, and so, fearing rejection, fearing not being worthy, all those small beliefs of our shadow that have taken us on that route. Yep, and on here you have the 2 of Cups. So that's the 2. It's the 2 that we were talking about here. This is all about, everything I talked about with this chalice, the Holy Grail. This is your spiritual side and your human side. You're offering this beautiful cup full of unconditional love, and this is where this emotional fulfillment is coming from. The 2 is the 2022. This is the U times 2 right here. And then you have the Seven of Swords. Yeah, so this is definitely... So Seven of Swords is usually called like the thievery card or the deceiver card. And Spirit has showed me, like, because these are all our thoughts, our beliefs, our mindsets, you're becoming aware of all these thoughts and beliefs that have been deceiving you, that have been taking you in the direction of smallness, powerlessness, and victimhood. But you are going through and looking at each one of these, obviously, because you have the Nine of Swords and the Seven of Swords here. You're kind of sifting through all these thoughts and beliefs that served you for the time, because they brought you these experiences that you wanted to experience. That's why you came here, to experience these opposites of who you really are. But you're ready, you're done, like we talked about. You're ready to let them go because you don't need them anymore. You've gained the wisdom, you've earned the wisdom, and now you're ready to move. Yeah. Boom! Into the sun. I was going to say this is like the culmination card here of where all this is bringing you, but here you have the sun rising. This is you. This is victory. This is wholeness, completeness. It's being bare under the sun, not having anything to hide. The shadows are gone because you're standing high noon and the sun is right above you. And so you're feeling this brightness, this wholeness, this completeness, and you're shining. You're literally glowing throughout 2022 very, very quickly. You know, like I said, I don't feel like this is the end. I feel like this is like what you're experiencing through the entire year. People are just like, oh my God, you are literally glowing. What is going on with you? And you get to share what you've learned, you know, because like we talked about, because of what you've learned, not only is it great for your path, it's also impacting others. Then I'm going to pull at least one more card here from the Art of Manifestation Oracle and just see what the final message for this reading anyway that the Creator wants you to know about your sneak peek into 2022. All right, so what else for our Scorpio fire rockets? Okay, there's one. I feel like, yep, there's at least, yep, and then there's that one too. So we'll start here, and you are safe now. Yeah. Makes sense, right? That's the way you feel, literally. It's safe to relax. You've been through a major ordeal, and you've been amazing. You've handled it all. But as a consequence, you've learned to live on high alert. And this can change. Your mind needs peace, right? Your mind needs peace, and your body needs to relax and repair. This card brings the message, you're safe now, it's okay to relax. Yep. And then you have Opportunity, card 40. That says this card speaks of new opportunities, although they may not necessarily come in the form that you were expecting. So be alert, look beyond the obvious, be prepared for opportunities disguised as loss. If a new pathway opens for you, trust that it is leading you in the direction that you are meant to go. Yeah, and this is like being divinely guided, right, and protected. So you are safe, and new opportunities definitely coming your way. Yep, and you have Take a Risk, card 53. That says, step out of your comfort zone, which we talked about, right? Feeling safe and secure is a wonderful experience, but if we remain in our safe zone for fear of change, we create a limiting and restrictive environment that can ultimately lead to stagnation and the loss of our creative potential to manifest our greatest contribution to the world. Let go of fear and take a risk. Yeah, so right in alignment with what we were talking about too. So all of these reiterated the messages that came for you here. And I always love that, because when you use multiple decks and different cards bring all the same messages, it just shows us that there is a clear message coming for you for 2022. And again, this is just a small piece of what you're going to be going through in 2022. It's like looking through the keyhole of the future. And it's what the Creator wanted you to know right now. And if you want to be kept in the loop of any new messages that are coming out as they come out throughout the year, I do monthly readings by each zodiac sign, weekly readings, like energy updates for each of the elements, like fire signs, water signs, do new moon and full moon readings, and a variety of others. So as I mentioned in the intro, if you don't want to miss out on those, just click the subscribe button and then the notification bell, and then you can set your setting there to be notified immediately. And if you're enjoying these videos and would like to help share the love, if you give this video a little thumbs up and click the like button, that just helps the YouTube algorithm share this as a recommended video to others as well. So never any pressure to do so, but if it resonates with you, I'd greatly appreciate that. All right, all my Scorpios, just know is that as you go through each and every second of every day of your life, that you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things. And of course, I love you too. Have an amazing 2022, and I'm sure I'll be talking to you very soon. But until then, you take care.